What's going on? Rob here to do my finally get my my top 19 vinyl of 2019 done. My list is going to be quite different than most. Got a little bit, a bit of the common stuff is in here, like that everybody's put on their list, and then I have a couple not so common and ones I'm surprised I haven't made list. Shit like that. Again, this is based off the vinyl that I have. There's stuff I didn't get from 2019 that probably would have made and pushed other things out. So there's part of that too. But mostly this is the best stuff 2019, according to me, to what I like. So first of all, I'm going to do a couple of honorable mentions. A lot of these are either like full cover albums or EPs or shit like that. Some of these are older albums, but they, 2018, but weren't released on vinyl until 2019. I'm going to start off with first thing is Biogenesis EP. It's a long EP. This one has 6 songs on it. Biogenesis, great band. This is their best release out of all of them, in my opinion. Black Widow is their best song ever, in my opinion. So, just an honorable mention. From Rox Records, I think it is, yeah. So, Biogenesis, Black Widow EP. No room to put anything. Now, this is an older album that got shelved by the record company, but did get a CD release. I don't remember if it's official or not, but since this is such a killer album and it was released in 2019 on vinyl for the first time, I'm putting in this in my honorable mention, and that's Mass's Fighter. Great album, and one of my favorite all-time Mass songs is on here called Fighter. So, another honorable mention. Now this album features George Lynch, Jeff Peelson, Mick Brown, and Robert... Oh my god, I can't remember his name. I'm not a big fan of his as vocally, and I really didn't want to like this album, but I've really come to like this album. It's called The End Machine. I think it's self-titled, right? Yeah, self-titled. Very Dawkins-esque. I mean, it has a very good sound, and the singer actually does a really good job. My god, I can't remember his name. Robert. He sung in Warrant. He sung for Lynch Mob a little bit. I can't think of his name right now, guys. But The End Machine, great album. The more I listen to it, the more I like it, and I really didn't want to. This album, I'm surprised it didn't make some lists, but it's a Timekeeper band. His new album, Rise. Sorry about the glare, the lights is just what it is. Rise. Great hard rock album, sounds like Timekeeper. It's an enjoyable album, it's a good listen. Anything Timekeeper does, I love, so that's why it made my honorable mention list. Next is Malmsteen's Blue Lightning. I think this was last year, right? Yeah, Jesus. Came out in the beginning of the year, so. Malmsteen's Blue Lightning. And the reason this didn't make my tops of 2019 is because it's basically a cover album with 2 original songs. So I couldn't justify putting it in my tops of 2019 for 2 original songs. And of course, what would a tops or honorable mention list be without Witherfall being in my list? This is an EP called Vintage, and this came out in the beginning of 2019. This has a killer cover of I Won't Back Down. Is it I Won't Back Down? Yeah, I Won't Back Down of Tom Petty. Haunting, great version of it. I'm not a Tom Petty fan, but I love the version of this on there. And I highly recommend Witherfall. I'd say my my favorite band of the 2000s. Alright, now I got a couple of non-hard rock metal albums I want to show. These are blues based. These are my top 2 blues based albums of the year. I was going to put them in my 19, but I didn't want to push out the hard rock metal like I did last year. This year I figured I'd just do these on the side. And number 2 is Samantha Fish, Kill or Be Killed. Kill or Be Kind. Jesus. Each one of her albums has been a little bit different, and this has a little more of a little pop edge to it almost, but it still keeps that blues sound. She's a good guitarist, good singer, a cigar box player, dirty cigar box sound. It's a really, really good album. And she's actually a local Kansas City artist. Literally lives like 3 miles from me. So that's really cool. And the best blues album in a long time for me, period. And that's Kingfish. I would say Christone, Kingfish Ingram, self-titled Kingfish. I love this album so much I had to pick up the Vinyl Me Please version, which is numbered out of 750. Super tough to find, super expensive to find, but I found one. And black version, Vinyl Me Please version. Really cool. Great album. If you like B.B. King, great guitar player, sounds a little bit like B.B. King. Highly, highly, highly recommend this if you're a blues fan, a rock fan. It's just a killer album. Alright, now we'll get into the hard rock and metal, which is mostly metal. This has got a lot of heavy to it this year. Usually a lot of the hair bands and stuff like that make my list, but got a lot of heavy stuff at the top. My top few are going to be quite different than everybody else's. And I had a late incomer that jumped the ranks up to number 2. But I want to get into this now, and we're going to start with number 19. Some of these I'm not going to talk a lot about because we all know who they are. And number 19, the band you either love or you hate. I love them. They make me smile, they make me laugh, stupid lyrics, good musicians, and that's Steel Panther. Heavy Metal Rules. Another one of their typical albums. This would probably be my top 3 favorite album by them. I really do like this album. There's a couple songs that are kind of weird, but I really enjoy the album. That's number 19. Number 18 is Helix Old School. This is not a reissue. This is an album that was tapes that were found in his closet that they remastered and managed to get Paul Hackman's guitar pieces in some songs. This goes back to the 80s sound of Helix, and it's just a really pretty packaging too. So this is a 2019 release, and that's why it's on my list. So killer. Highly recommend Helix. I love Helix, so I'm a little bit biased obviously, but great album. Helix Old School. That was number what? 17, I already forgot. No, 18. Number 17 is, and I'm surprised this didn't show up in a lot of videos. Ex-Sinners. I already forgot the name. Santa Muerte. Ex-Sinner. Matt Sinner, the bassist for Primal Fear. But he's been around forever. This is Sinner's like 17th or 18th album. They did a little different this album and last album. They had different singers in there. Like there's a female singer in this one, which I love her voice. What's the song? But this album I found myself going back to over and over again. It just has a different sound, different vibe to it. Their last 2 are kind of similar like this. They're not the old, AC/DC sounding kind of Sinner like they used to be. No, 17. Number 16 is Queensryche's The Verdict. I really like this album. I hear a lot of shit about it. It's kind of, people say it's boring, but to me, it's Queensryche. I love it. Great album, The Verdict by Queensryche. I'm already losing count because I don't know how to count. That's 16, 15. 15 is Cobra and the Lotus Evolution. Canadian band. Love these guys. It's a female singer. That's her there on the cover. I think it's their fifth or sixth album. Their albums always seem to make my list. It just always got good songs. Really well written lyrics that I like a lot. And again, their last few albums have been a little more on the poppy radio side, I guess, some songs, but they still have their killer tracks in there as well. Still their best album for me is still High Priestess. But still another worthy of my top of 2019. Cobra and the Lotus Evolution. Number 14, I'm surprised this didn't show up a lot either. Children of Bodom. What the hell is Hex? This is one of my favorite albums from the band. This is their best album since last album was good. This album is really good. I think they're done. I think this is their last album. But highly recommend this album too. Obviously, it's number, Jesus Christ, 13 on my list. Children of Bodom, Text. Give me a minute. I'm losing count. What is that? 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, number 13. I'm surprised this didn't make list. LA Guns, The Devil You Know. Their last album that I forget the title. I am bad with album titles. Was really good comeback album with Phil back on vocals. I think this album is better than that album, which is shocking considering this band's been around since the mid-80s. But it's a great album. I'm really surprised I didn't see this on a lot of lists. LA Guns, The Devil You Know. Alright, number, I think 12, is The Agony. I got this right? Yeah, The Agonist. What the fuck is this? Orphans. Heavy metal, heavy metal, death metal, female vocalist, but she does clean vocals and the death metal growl sound, harsh vocals, whatever you want to call it. But this is a great album. This is probably, I think they've got better with Vicky than Alyssa, although I like both singers. But Alyssa moved on to Arch Enemy, and Vicky took over here, and she kicks ass just as well. Obviously, it's number 12. Number 11 is singer of Striper, Michael Sweet's solo album 10. Again, his last album, One Sided War, was essentially it's a Striper album. It sounds like Striper. This one just picks up and stays in the same vein. Has that Striper-esque sound. Killer guitar players. He always has good guitar players. Ethan Brosh, Hoekstra. He's always got killer guest guitarists on his. They actually play in his band when he does his solo stuff. But Michael Sweet, 10. And I think it was number 11. I don't know why I'm showing the vinyl. Let me just count this real quick, guys. Getting all confused now. Alright, we're down to our top 10. Sorry. Alright. Number 10. The band Paladin. The album is called Ascension. I found these guys on oh my god, Bandcamp. Just looking through other bands that I have favorited, these guys popped up as a recommendation. Fell in love with the album. Modern day speed, heavy metal, power metal you could say too. Very, very good band. The singer has a very good voice, a different voice, has that metal, deeper voice. But I really love this album as well. Obviously, it's number 10. Paladin, Ascension. And I'm going to try to remember to leave links for at least a song from every band. This album is Pretty Maids, Undress Your Madness. This is a really good album. I'm blown away by how good this album is. Their last one, Kingmaker, last album was really good too. I think this is better than that. I think this is probably my second favorite from the band, and they have quite a few. I played the hell out of this. I even played it today. Pretty Maids, Undress Your Madness. I love the cover. Again, Angel with Madness. That's number 9. Number 8. This made a lot of lists. Flotsam and Jetsam. End of Chaos. Great return to the Flotsam and Jetsam sound. There's not a bad song on this thing. There's so many good albums last year released. That's the only reason this is sitting at number I'm fucking up all this. Whoa. Number 8. Flotsam and Jetsam. End of Chaos. Band Syra. No Halos in Hell. Now this one's probably a shocker for most people, but I love these guys. This features Jake E. Not Jake E. Jake E. on vocals, and I can't remember the guy's name. The In Flames guitarist. It's modern day melodic metal. I love his voice. I'm a sucker for this band. Their album 2 years ago was higher in my list. I think I ranked it number 3. I love that so much. And this album picks up exactly where that one left off. Highly recommend this band, Syra. No Halos in Hell. That's number 7, I think. Alright. So number 6 is Destruction. I already forgot. Born to Perish. Great. I almost call it a comeback album. They added a second guitarist, and you really can tell. Great album. Destruction is my favorite German Teutonic metal band out of the big 4. I love these guys the most. Creator. I'm not a big Sodom fan. Anyway, Destruction, Born to Perish. We've all liked this. I'm not going to say much more about that one. Number 5. One of my favorite thrash bands, and that's Overkill, The Wings of War. What needs to be said about Overkill? One of the most consistent bands from the 80s still. The last grinding wheel in this album, it really, I think they've gone back more to their roots. They got a little bit different there in the middle, but this album is killer. And their album, well, before this was a double live album, which was actually a quad album because it's volume 1 and volume 2. It was a really good live album as well, but this album kicks ass. Number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list is Death Angel. God. Manicide. Again, another solid release from the band. I've never had a problem with anything this band has done. I know some people, sometimes they do more of a Black Sabbath sound, or the last 3 or 4 albums have been pretty much continuing. They sound similar throughout, which have been great. And this is a great album by them. I do like this. I like this better than the last 2. I'm having trouble with album. The last 2. The one before that, which I can't remember the title, is the one I like a lot. But this one is better. Second best out of the last 4. I'm stumbling on my own words. Death Angel, Humanicide. Alright. This album, I love a lot. This is probably the best comeback album of the year, in my opinion. And that's Possessed, Revelations of Oblivion. I hate that they push this band as a death metal band, because they're not a death metal band. They've never been. They're similar to Slayer. I mean, if they had a better production and sound back in the day, they probably... I like them better than Slayer, and that says a lot. But this album is phenomenal from start to finish. Not a crapper on the album. Thrash metal, heavy thrash metal, solid through. Number 3 on my list for the year. And you know, if I got death metal, you know I like it a lot, because I'm not a big modern day death metal fan. Possessed, Revelations of Oblivion. And the cover is always cool too. Alright, number 2 and number 1. Now these are going to be completely left field. These are the 2 albums. This one, next one, I've almost worn out since I got it. When I recently got it, like, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, and it made the jump to number 2. And that's Saboteur, Vicious Circles. I fucking love this album. And the only reason this album isn't number 1, because this other album, which you've been listening to, it's so fucking good that, and I played it much more, that I had to base it off of that. And I really haven't talked about this album a lot since I've had it, because I had a feeling it was going to be ranked up there 1, 2, or 3. And after debating my list, and I'm like, well, that's the one I played the most this year. Saboteur, Vicious Circle. It sounds like heavy metal with Bobby Blitz and Exodus, early Exodus vocals. It's such a good album. I mean, I highly recommend this album. If you don't know this band, please go check them out. You can listen to the whole album on YouTube. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal album. And that's why it's number 2 on my list in such a short time. Alright, number 1 is another band I found on... When I showed this, I was the only one I've seen show it, period. And that's a band called Silver Talon. That's been playing in the background from a video, and it's called Becoming a Demon. Features the guitar player Bryce Van Hoosen. It's pure heavy metal. It's kind of like a mix of little Iron Maidenish sound with a Judas Priest vibe with Malmsteen on guitars. I mean, it's really hard to explain the band. A lot of my intros on my videos have been songs from these guys as well lately, so all my video intros, the intro for this will probably be it, since it's number 1. Just absolutely fell in love with this album, and I've probably played it 100 times since I've had it. I listen to it so much. It literally sits in my play cube. It's never been out of there. Let's put it that way. So Silver Talon, Becoming a Demon, my number 1 for 2019. So, and it's a cool ass cover too. The band just added they got 3 guitarists now. They just added another guitarist. All the guitarists, well, the 2 guitarists I know of so far are really good. But very good band. Highly, highly recommend as well. This is one of the 3 albums. Saboteur, Silver Talon, and Kingfish. I'd highly recommend, are must-buys for 2019. And they're doing a cover of Sanctuary, Battle Angels. Alright guys, well that's it. That's my top 2019. Sorry it took me so long to get it out. I've just been feeling like crap, and I didn't feel like pulling shit out. So, see you soon for 2020. Already 2 months in. But you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for support. Oh, and thank you everybody that subbed recently. While I was sick, I gained like 30 fucking subs. I don't know how, but I'm over the 500 mark now, which I don't really pay attention to that, but when I got close, it's kind of a milestone thing that you kind of, you see that, you just want to hit the number. So that was pretty cool, and I thank everybody that supported me since I've been doing this. You guys are why I keep doing it. There's about 30 or 40 people that are interactive, and there's a lot of new guys that have been interactive too, which I enjoy, because I answer everything I can. Anyway, thank you guys, and I'll be doing a contest for that soon, and that'll be a good one. Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch up real soon.